Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So lately I've been getting loads of questions about Nvidia, what I think about this company, from friends, from people online and so on. And it kind of reminds me early 2020, so 2020 when basically the COVID happened, and just before then everybody was talking about Tesla and how amazing the company is, and it is an amazing company, don't get me wrong, right? But it just feels like that again, and it's now everybody, people that were not even talking about stock markets a couple of months ago are now talking about Nvidia. And that's just sometimes when you see this, it's a little bit worrying, and people are just making irrational decisions based on what's been said on CNBC and so on. So what I want to do today is just look at the why everybody's talking about Nvidia first of all, and then we look at the numbers. When you look at the numbers, I'm not going to lie to us, and then talk about in terms of valuations and what basically all of these analysts that are now valuing this company, basically what they're saying, and then I'll tell you at the end what I will be doing with that stock, if I basically just whether I'm gonna buy or never buy or whatever. I'll let you know at the end what my decision is. As usual, this is basically my portfolio. As you can see right now is £79,400. It goes up and down every single week. I share it with you guys every single week. I'd like to be transparent, be honest with you guys on what I'm doing. So that's basically my plan, and I'm not here to show off. I'm here just to kind of share with you guys what I'm doing every single week. And if you like that side of things, and if you like the transparency and what we're doing here, please like the videos. Obviously subscribe to the channel. Let us know if you have any questions. Join us on the Discord, join us on Patreon. It really does help the channel, so that will be really nice. Everything you need you can find in here. So the under documents, you can find all of these documents in the in here, and you can join us on the private Discord, inshallah, as well. Let's get started. Let's have a look at Nvidia first of all. So what I'm going to do first is start with the stock. So the stock price right now is 221% up since the beginning of this year, since January, whatever that was, January the 3rd, up until right now. This stock's about 221%. This is by far is just absolutely mad. There is no other stock anywhere near this. There are companies obviously like Microsoft and so on that are up about 40% or whatever, but this company is up over 221%. For the 6 months, just last 6 months, is about 95%. So if you bought it 6 months ago, you'll be up a lot right now. So what I want to do right now is just to look at one of the reasons why this company is doing so well. The company obviously has gone up so much because a lot to do with the AI situation. Now, everybody realized how important AI is because of ChatGPT. AI existed before, and it will basically, but all of a sudden just everybody started talking about it. Every single company, even the companies that sell milk, were saying, oh yeah, we're using AI to basically analyze our data. And who do they go to when they need to basically a powerful systems? They go to Nvidia. So Nvidia basically has been in the game since 2006. Their CUDA programming language, which is used to a lot of the in basically developing AI programs, has been around for quite some time. So it's not something new completely. And after it's reported its earnings just a couple of days ago, this basic report was written. It says Nvidia's results and outlook were well ahead of the expectations and FactSet consensus estimates. As the company is dominant supplier of artificial intelligence accelerated into the cloud computing providers. Now they work with everybody. They work with all the companies that you can think of, like Microsoft. They work with Google. Microsoft. They work with AWS. Every single company out there that has some sort of a cloud and data centers and so on, they work with them to analyze that data, and basically their AI chips are actually in those data centers. And this was already happening, but now their AIs are even more powerful than they were before. One of the things that's been said in Morningstar is they actually, in terms of data center revenue side of things, they are expecting, okay, it will generate about 41 billion in revenue in 2024 physical, okay, which ends, but they've already started. It's a bit weird how they report. They already started their 2024 earnings. I think they've already done 2 or 1, so which ends to basically in January, so maybe 2 more. So 41 billion is absolutely huge. This basically compares with 15 billion a year ago. So 1 year ago, this company, when it comes to the data center side of things, was reporting about 15 billion. Right now, they're expecting about 41 billion dollars, and only 3 billion just 4 years ago. So 4 years ago it was about 3 billion, then 15 billion last year, and now they're expecting 41 billion. The reason this is happening is what I said earlier, is because every single company out there is now moving on to AI. So they now starting to look into, okay, how can we actually make AI part of our basically day-to-day runnings and whatever. And for that reason, they have to go to Nvidia and buy this product. Obviously, AMD is in that sort of a market, but their basically chips are not actually as powerful as the ones they have in Nvidia. So this company is going to keep going up, but what we now need to look at is it's in terms of valuation, okay? And they just carry on here. Look, we anticipate, basically they said we anticipate further growth of 60 billion in data center revenue in fiscal 2025. So from 41 to basically 60 billion, rising to 100 billion in fiscal 2028. So 2028, in 5 years down the line, this company will be hitting about 100 billion in terms of data center side of things. Forget the rest of the revenue, just the data center. And it says here that such growth might be unprecedented in a large cap tech, but we basically foresee all types of enterprise investing in AI. Similarly, all cloud providers will need to offer Nvidia's GPUs to allow them to train AI models. And this is what it comes back to, okay? Like I said earlier, every single company out there is planning to have Nvidia chips in their systems so they can actually train their AI models to basically analyze their data and so on, okay? So generative AI is taking over the world and everybody's involved, and for that reason this company is in the right place. So what I want to do right now is just look at a couple of more things, okay? We just need to look at earnings, for example. And I want to show you basically how quickly this Excel basically gone up from what it was and where it is right now. So if we take out the consensus and just look at the actual, right, this company in basically the first fiscal year of 2024 has reported $1.09. Just remember that. Look at right now. It actually reported in just the basic a couple of days ago $2.70, and this is why there is a massive. So before it was okay, so it was heading the right direction, and then boom, this happened. Will this continue? Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so next they're expecting it $3.35, then $3.68, then $3.81, then $4. So it looks like everyone is saying it is definitely heading the right direction. If we look at the estimates for the earnings, for example, the EPS, you will see in terms of growth side of it, okay, huge numbers. And there are so many analysts looking at it. If we just focus the first three, 223, okay, 46, let's call it 47% growth, and then 25%. If you include this one, you've got about 17%. So that's one of the reasons why the company has gone up so much. Look at the revenue, okay? Let's call it 54 billion in 2024, January. So that's what they're expecting, right? Let's just look at the first 4 years or 5 years. $132 billion. Some analysts are now coming up and saying this company is going to be bigger than Apple. Apple is what, $3 trillion right now? This company is $1 trillion already. So it's crazy. There's a lot of news out there about this company, but let's have a look in terms of valuations and where the company is at right now, okay, and what the analysts are saying. So we know the price is right now $460 per share, and basically 5-year growth basically is about 567% up, and EPS right now we're looking at about $4.14. Now market cap is $1.14 trillion right now, which is absolutely huge. Okay, basically in terms of it has a wide economic mode, and beta is quite volatile, definitely volatile stock. Right now PE is 111. For the forward PE is way cheaper, which is 42 in comparison to the sector, which is about 35 right now, and the S&P 500 we're looking about 23. The 5-year average though is a 53, so it seems expensive when you look based on the PE. Price to free cash flow is even worse because that's 224 right now, and PEG ratio just below 2, which is not bad, because normally we said about 1 and 1.5 to 2 is actually not bad when you look at the PEG ratio. Because remember, this is a growth company, so we need to look at the PEG ratio. So according to the PEG ratio, it actually seems cheap, but when you look at the basically forward PE, it's not bad. When you look at the current PE, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now they do have some dividends. I included it in here, but it really doesn't matter because that is 0.03. That is non-existent, and they're not growing it at all anyway. But they do have some free cash flow there, and free cash flow yield basically is actually almost non-existent, 0.9. Okay, right now we're looking about 3 or more, but free cash flow margin is about 32%, which is actually quite good. The profit margin is about 13%, basically the year. The operating margins basically trailing 12 months. So operating margins about 13%, return on equity we're looking about 19%, and total return in the last 10 years we're looking about 62%, which is actually quite nice. Return on invested capital about 13%, and basically the 5-year compound annual growth rate in terms of revenue side of things is about 28%, which is absolutely huge. The current ratio cover basic current assets actually cover the current liabilities 3 times over, so which is absolutely fine. Now in terms of the next 5 years, this is where crazy stuff happens. Okay, next year they're expecting about 55%. There's a lot of analysts look in this company and say, okay, right now the next year it will be about basically 55% according to Yahoo Finance. Growth estimate for the next 5 years is about plus 100%. And this is probably why what the company is trading where it is right now. Now, according to Morningstar, you've seen early, it's actually discounted about 4%. So the price target, as they said here, okay, is 480, and it's about 4% discounted right now. Now, according to Simply Wall Street, is about 28% overvalued, and that $360 per share is where the price should be. Now, in the next 12 months, Tiprakan is actually saying 631%. Okay, and there's so many analysts looking at this stock when it comes to Tiprakan. When you go to Tiprakan, you will see there's so many from all are basically different companies or different banks are looking at this and saying, okay, it's going to be about on average $631 per share. That's about 37% upside from where it is, and they said it's a strong buy. Same goes for Seeking Alpha. So let's just finish this one, and then we'll come back to the valuation because that's absolutely crazy. In terms of Sharia compliance side of things, is absolutely there's no issues, and they are buying back their own shares. Okay, they have been buying, and now they also said they will be buying back their own shares. They will be spending about $25 billion in buyback, so they are buying back their own shares. So the dividend doesn't exist, but they're actually buying back their shares, which is quite good. Now, for me, this is not a current buy, so I'm going to give you my opinion right now. This is not financial advice. This is not. I will not be chasing this stock right now. It's gone up so much, it will be absolutely ridiculous to start buying this company. Okay, considering the last few years, when you look at, for example, even just looking at 2022, where the price was 300 something, and it came back down basically to what is this $217 per share. Okay, these things can happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to fall off a cliff, whatever, but it can easily happen. So my plan for this stock is that there's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of things happening. It's a great company. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I owned when it was $120 per share, and we were saying it's actually overvalued. Okay, but right now to chase it to these type of valuations is really ridiculous, and I wouldn't touch it for a long time unless it comes back down quite a bit. Of course, it is the future basically when it comes to AI, when it comes to the GPUs, but there are other companies that also doing similar sort of things. Okay, and this business is very, very unpredictable. Things can easily change, especially with the semiconductors. Remember, this company does not make their own chips. Okay, they rely on TSMC as well, so anything can happen. AMD can get in the market, and so on. So these are all predictions, and it is good predictions, a lot of it. Sometimes that's what we use to actually buy different stocks and so on. But because it's gone up over 200% right now, I wouldn't touch it. I will wait for a better valuation. Hopefully things will cool down when it comes to the AI situation, and people will stop talking about basically this company as much, and the valuations hopefully will come back down to earth, and then we can start nibbling. Because remember, if this company is basically the leader in that side of things, it's absolutely fine to own it. But with these valuations, I don't think it's a good advice. Like, it's similar to Tesla. Tesla is actually basically have been around for quite some time. They've been in the company to go to, the EV company to go to for a long time. But look at it now. There are so many different companies that came up and obviously taken a market share. So anyway, I'm going to stop the video here. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu Alaikum.